Hi, my name is Bibek Adhikari. I am an English instructor. In today's class, we are going to solve the grammar portion of Unit 6, that is present continuous tense. In this section, we shall be learning about the structure of present continuous tense and its uses. So, let's begin. Alright, we are now going to start the grammar portion of Unit 6, that is present continuous tense. In this section, we shall be learning about the structure of present continuous tense and its uses. So, let's begin. First of all, we must understand that the present continuous verb tense indicates that an action or condition is happening now, or let me say it frequently, and may continue in future. So present continuous tense talks about an action or condition that is happening now frequently and may continue in future. Let me give you some example, but before that we must understand the basic formula for present continuous tense. And the basic formula is this. The to be verb, which is am, is, and are, is to be followed by a verb. And the verb is generally present participle. So this is the basic formula to create present continuous tenses. For example, I can say I am happy. No, that's not present continuous. So I can say I am dancing, or I can say something like he is working. So I'm not writing the subject obviously. Or I can say you are sleeping. So if you look at these examples, in the first section, this is the be verb, am is an are, and these are what we call the present participle. So these are the present participle. Present participle is also known as V4 or sometimes the VING. So the V4 or VING is the present participle, and words like dancing, working, and sleeping are the present participle. So this is the basic, this is the basic formula. Let me give you one example. Aunt Aruna is warming up the car while Sher is looking for his new leather coat. They are eating at Sher's favorite restaurant today, Mama's Cafe. So this is a simple example of present continuous tense. Aunt Aruna is warming up. So we have a be verb followed by the VING, or the V4, also known as the present participle, right? So this is the structure. Is be verb followed by the VING. Aunt Aruna is warming up the car while Sher is looking. So again we have a be verb followed by a VING for his new leather coat. They are eating. Again a be verb followed by a VING at Sher's favorite restaurant today, Mama's Cafe. Alright, so this is the simple example. You must understand, or let me say, you must remember some keywords, and the keywords in present continuous tense are, you must know what a verb is, you must also know what a present participle is. You should be familiar with the tense and the dynamic and static verbs. So these are some of the keywords, and we'll learn these one by one. The present continuous, sometimes we say present progressive tense, is a way to convey an action or condition that is happening right now, frequently and maybe ongoing. So it adds energy and action to writing, and its effect helps readers understand when the action is happening. Imagine Aunt Aruna has surprised her nephew Sher for his birthday and is going to take him out to his favorite restaurant, Mama's Cafe. So if I wanted to tell the story after it happened, I would just use past tense, and I would say something like they waited at the red light and Sher worried they might miss their reservation. So that is another way of telling the same story. But since I'm not using the past tense, the use of simple present tense makes the action immediate and makes the action look real. So since I really wanted to convey how the event unfolded, showing the action as it is happening, I use the simple present tense. I can write something like, they are sitting at Sher's favorite booth, the one with the sparkling red plastic seats. So I can explain that, right? I can also say the waiter is standing behind the counter and somebody says, are you waiting to open your present? So from this narrative point of view, the action is immediate and continuous, and there's momentum. Sometimes, a lot of writers use this tense to add suspense or humor in fictional writing. Once again, let me rewrite the present continuous tense formula. So let's rewrite that formula once again. And the formula is pretty simple. It is to be verb, that is am, is, or are, followed by a present participle, which is actually a tense verb. So let me write one more example. Are you waiting to open your presents after you eat your pancakes? Question mark. Said Aunt Aruna. So if you look at this sentence, you find there is a be verb here followed by a VING or the present participle. So this is one example, right? It shows what is happening right now there. It shows the momentum, the fluidity, things like that. So let's understand when to use the present continuous tense. When to use present continuous tense? The simplest answer to that question is use the present continuous tense with the appropriate to be verb and a dynamic verb. So there should be a to be verb followed by a dynamic verb. And what's a dynamic verb? A dynamic verb is that verb that shows some kind of action or process that is happening. So action or process that is happening. Let me write one example. I can write something like Sayer's sister is arriving tomorrow. Or I can say Hari is yelling goodbye to us. So both of these examples, if you observe these two examples very closely, you will find that there is one be verb here followed by the dynamic verb. So this is the dynamic verb. Sayer's sister is arriving tomorrow. If I say that, the whole weight of the sentence is carried by the single word arriving. We know that somebody is arriving tomorrow and it is Sayer's sister. So what's the main idea, or let's say the main function of the sentence? Its function is to tell us that somebody is arriving tomorrow. So the whole weight of the sentence goes onto a single word. So if I write another example, Hari is yelling goodbye to us. So here's a be verb followed by a dynamic verb. So Hari is yelling goodbye to us. That's another example. Somebody is yelling something to us. And the whole weight of the sentence goes to the single word yelling. Somebody's yelling, right? And the yelling shows the action there. So this is when we use the present continuous tense. Let me tell you when not to use the present continuous tense. When not to use present continuous tense. For example, you can say something like, do not use present continuous tense with stative verbs. Now, what are stative verbs? You need to understand this first. So stative verbs show a state of being that does not show qualities of change. So it shows a state of being, and it does not show qualities of change. So these verbs can stay in the simple present. We don't have to go to the present continuous in order to write about stative verbs. So I'll give you one example. Aunt Helena is preferring the maple walnut pancakes over the banana peanut butter ones that Cher loves. There's something inherently wrong with this sentence. Look at the be verb followed by a VING. Do we really need something like this? Because since it is prefer is more of a stative verb, we don't need this. We can simply say something like Aunt Helena prefers the maple walnut pancakes over the banana peanut butter ones that Cher loves. So here there is a stative verb. So there is a stative verb or the static verb. So that's why we use the word prefers instead of is preparing. Here the stative verb to prefer shows opinion and therefore should not be conjugated into the present continuous. Stative verb categories include emotion, for example, to love someone, possession, to belong, and thoughts, to recognize. So, none of these should use present continuous tense. But that's an exception to rule. Grammar is the language of exception. So you can say something like, I am being bold today. That's perfectly fine. I am loving it is also fine. Sometimes when you use the structure of the sentence, right, I'm loving it. Well, that's technically a stative verb and should not be used like that. You can simply say I love it or I loved it. Even though the sentence I'm loving it is perfectly fine, and if the situation demands it, the use is correct. Now let me give you some homework. Okay, this is your homework. All you have to do is fill in the blanks. Will you please be quiet? I blank space to do my homework. The tense verb here is try. Let me give you one more example. One more homework question. Can I phone you later? We blank space just blank space our dinner. And the tense verb is have. Two more questions for your homework. Number C. Could you stop the car, please? I blank space sick. And the tense verb here is feel. Okay, the last question probably. Is it okay if we take a taxi? Question mark. I blank space problems with my car today. And the tense verb here is has. Alright, so these are the questions. 4 questions. All you need to do is fill these blanks with simple present tense verbs. With this, we've come to end of today's class. If you have any questions or suggestions regarding these video series, feel free to write us at learning@deerwalk.edu.np. Thank you.